Hey, what's going on, y'all? Uh, what's going on, y'all? So, welcome back to another video, you guys. So, in this video, we basically gonna just be going over the history of Fort Riley, right? So, like I was saying, I was stationed at Fort Riley for small. Well, I was stationed at Fort Riley, right? You know, it is a lot of history there. Like I said in previous video, usually when you go to a post, right, and it got and you have to sing a song after you salute the flag. 9 times out of 10, it's a very historical place. So I'm just gonna briefly go over some of the stuff that's as far as the history of Fort Riley, right? So of course Fort Riley was named after Major General Bennett C. Riley. You know, he had a long and distinguished military career that stretched from the War of 1812 to the Mexican War. He serves as the last territorial governor of California and died in 1853. He is buried in Buffalo, New York. So that's who the post is named after, you guys. And just briefly go through some of this stuff. I don't want to make the video too long. And of course, Fort Riley was involved in the Civil War. Uh, So it says right here, the conclusion of the Civil War in 1865 witnessed Fort Riley again assuming an importance in providing protection to railroad lines being built across Kansas. Evidence of this occurred in the summer of fall 1866 when the 7th Cavalry Regiment was mustered in at Raleigh and the Union Pacific Railroad reached the Fort Brevet. Major General George A. Custer arrived in December to take charge of the new regiment. So that's Custer right here, you guys. That's Brevet Major General George Custer. And of course, if you ride around Fort Riley, you will see he's named after certain street in Fort Riley as well. Uh, so just some more history about Fort Riley, the home of the in the home of it's like different cavalry units there, you guys. So it's another one to where I want to show you guys where the units that's at Fort Riley. They have First Brigade, Second Brigade, and Sustainment Brigade, but they have other units too uh, there as well. So they do have museums there at Fort Riley that you guys can check out. It's a pretty decent post. It's right close to Kansas City, Missouri, and it's right outside of right next door to uh, Manhattan, guys. So like a college town, college city. So you guys get stationed at Fort Riley. I suggest you go check it out. It's not that bad. Uh, so of course, the Ninth and 10th Cavalry Regiments, the famed Buffalo Soldiers, were stationed at Fort Riley several times during their history. And of course, I know you guys know about the Buffalo Soldiers, which was African Americans. So there's another picture of them outside their barracks. And of course, if you go to Fort Riley, most of the buildings gonna look like this. And I want to say this building is actually still there, you guys. Its buildings look just exactly like this. So if you read, I'm just gonna read a little bit of this right here. It say the Buffalo Soldiers posed outside their barracks located around the cavalry parade field in the early years of the 20th century. An African American cavalry regiment, the Ninth, was posted to Fort Riley. Most of the soldiers in this photograph wear the uniform prescribed by the 1902 General Uniform Regulations that signal a significant departure from the cavalry uniforms of the late 19th century. Gone were the dark blue Prussian style uniforms with plumed helmets as a simpler and more functional uniform was adopted. Notice the man with his back to the camera, third from the right, who is wearing an 1880 pattern white summer helmet. These issue helmets were made of cork and covered with a bleached or unbleached cotton drilling. Yeah. So you guys see that helmet right there he got on his head? Okay, so yeah, and then I read this, you guys, how they used to train them with the horses, right? So I read this. It said cavalrymen were continuously tested during riding skills and ability. One such exercise called the Russian ride consisted of a weekend 3-mile ride. The ride comprised 24 jumps of varying degrees of difficulty. While jumping over unusual obstacles rarely occurred in real world situations, the ride was instrumental in instilling confidence in the rider's ability. Moreover, before a student could graduate from the cavalry school, the trooper was expected to successfully negotiate the dreaded cemetery hill. As the picture shows, the hill would test both the trooper's riding agility and his courage. So, see the type of stuff they had to do on horses, you guys. So, yeah. Um, and yeah, this is just some of the history of it. Of course, World War I. So I suggest you guys just check this out. I think this on the actual Fort Riley website too. It'll have the history of it. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got. If you guys visit and y'all see Camp Funston. So what I didn't know was Camp Funston was a German prisoner of war camp, like way back in the day. So if you go over there and you see Camp Funston, all the buildings are really old. That that crazy how this used to be a German war camp, you guys. So that's pretty much all I got for this video, you guys. Just some history of Fort Riley, Kansas, one of my favorite duty stations. So I suggest you guys, you know, check it out when you get a chance. And I'll see you guys in the next video.